Is your mom still alive?
Yes, yes, she is.
Good relationship with your mother?
Very much so, absolutely. It was rocky in the beginning, but we got to a place like a while ago where it's just been always good. That's like my best friend.
Mm.
Yeah.
What made it rocky?
Just my upbringing and me being unstable, and it's just, you know, she had her own issues, which I learned to accept as I grew older. You know, when you're a child, you don't really understand. So as you grow, you start to learn about, you know, these different issues that she was having and what was going on. So you become, you know, a lot more understanding, not even a little bit, but a lot more understanding of this person, and, you know, understanding their feelings as opposed to, you know, only what you're going through. So, you know, as I grew, man, I just became more forgiving and more, you know, open to the things that she was going through. And, you know, I can understand it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. But we got to a place where, man, it's, you know, she's like my best friend, man. Like, talk about whatever, you know.
How did it get fixed like that? How did it get back to a good standing? Was it you getting at her and trying to fix it? Was it her getting at you trying to fix it? Was it mutual? I mean,
I think it was definitely me just going to her, and it was both. It was both. Like, just making sure we always been. I think the disconnect was her being in and out, but I think it was both of us. And, you know, once we found out, like, oh, I'm not really upset with you, or you're not, all right, cool. I understand what you went through. I just, you know, that's your mom, man. How can you feel any kind of way? You only get one mom. And being that I only got one mom, my grandmother raised me, by the way, but.
Okay. On your mom's side? On
my mom's side. So, you know, I just understood what she was going through. It just, once you have that understanding, man, it's a lot easier to move along and get to a place where everybody's good and everybody's cool. And, you know, more so than my mom, she's like my sister, man, you know. And I wouldn't say she was away completely. It was different places in my childhood where she was there, and it was dope. It was always good. I never, you know, would let anybody speak bad about it, even though I had my own feelings about certain situations as a kid. But as I grew, you know, we figured it out. Yeah.
At what age did the good standing take place in your life?
I would say I was 18. You know, yeah, 18. I was getting a little older, kind of starting to be on my own a little bit, a lot more actually, and learn things and see that life is filled with issues, and there are always people with bigger issues than yours. You know what I'm saying? You might not get the shoes you want, but there's some kid that's homeless. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think like that. Not saying that these were things that I but you know, you just gotta understand. You just gotta understand that. And once you do, I just feel like you become a better person, man. You just become more open to things and become more open-minded about, you know, who people are, why things happen, and, you know, where you need to get at in life to be happy, you know. And I felt like early on too, I had two very strong grandparents who raised me. My upbringing was a little different, you know, different from people that I see my age, you know. I see a lot of people my age, like a lot of my homies, while we hang is because we have certain characteristics. And, you know, what my grandfather taught me growing up was pull your pants up, look people in the eye when you speak to them, don't hold your head down, keep your head high, never let people see you sweat. It's okay to cry though, you know, just different things that took me a long way and took me, you know, very, very far, you know. And, you know, I try to instill these same things in, like, you know, the young people that are around me and my nieces and nephews, and they kind of look at me like, man, you act like you just 45 years old. I mean, it's not even that. It's just the stuff that I was taught. And, you know, respect. To have respect, you don't have to be 45 years old. That's universal. And I try to teach the young people that are around me all about this stuff. And, you know, it can take you far.
When it comes to your mother, favorite Mother's Day memory, if you have one?
favorite Mother's Day memory.
And this could apply to your grandma too.
Wow, okay.
Either or.
Got you. Man, favorite Mother's Day memory. I have two, right? So, and this happened, just listen to this. So my grandmother, I remember like, I was like dying for the Allen Iverson like zip up shoe. I forgot what sneaker that was.
It was a Reebok sneaker.
Yeah, the Reebok sneaker. It came with like the tattoo and all that stuff. I was like dying for this shoe. And I remember I was saving money up for like, man, should I get this shoe or get my grandmother this? And then I was like, man, that's a no-brainer. Go get your grandmother this thing. So I got her like this teddy bear, these flowers, this card. I wrote in the card telling her how much I love you, thank you for this, and all of that stuff. Gave it to her, and it's crazy, man. It was like, she was like, hold on one second, I got something for you too. It was a dope moment. She came out with the shoe. Came out with the shoe with the zipper on it. The greatest. I don't even think that was Mother's Day, but I just think it was a moment that I had. I thanked her for something, but vaguely remember it. I was very young, yeah. But she came out with the shoe. I thought, wore the shoe for like the whole school year. It was a dope moment, man. Yeah.
So here you are having an unselfish moment, and it pays itself back.
It pays itself back from something that I want. I'm sitting here deciding, am I going to get the gift for her or the shoe? And I end up doing both things right, and man, it was a dope moment, yeah.
You said it was two things. Was that one?
So I wrote a song. It's on my album actually today. Dreaming Out Loud, the project we're talking about today. So the song is titled Black Woman. It's like an ode to, you know, my sister, my mama, my grandmother, my mom, you know, my aunts, my cousins, everybody, this village of women that helped raise me. My grandfather's house that I would go to on the weekend, you know, he helped raise me, but for the most part, it was a village of women that were teaching me the good, the bad, and the ugly about the stuff I would see in the world and the stuff I would see, you know, just in people in general. So I remember writing a song and playing it for my mom, and she cried. She was like, yo, you know, this reminds me of like Dear Mama. You know what I'm saying? And that was a dope moment. And we recently shot the video for this song. Mind you, this song was written 2 years ago. For myself, I might have changed a few things in the lyrics, but yeah, I played the video for her and she cried again. You know, that was a dope moment. And the song releases on Mother's Day. Yeah.
Now, this can apply to your mom or grandma, but what's one thing either of them did for you that you will never forget?
Man, my grandmother raised me, like raised me to be this person I am today, you know.
Is it something specific though?
Something specific that she taught me?
One thing your grandma did for you that you will never forget.
One thing that she did for me, whether it was knowledge or a gift or...
Whatever you want to share with us.
Whatever, okay.
One thing she did for you you'll never forget.
One thing she did for me. Number one is raise me. But one thing in specific, I remember, man, you know, my grandmother was 80 years old while she was raising me, you know, so it was just dope to see a woman that was 80 years old that was just driving every day to do what she had to do. And one thing she told me, you know, it was just unbelievable to me to see a woman that was 80 plus years old driving a car every day, handling her business. That's number one. But I remember asking her, like, man, you need to rest. She was like, you know, I rest when I die. You know what I'm saying? If I don't work, I don't really have nothing to live for. If I don't work and get up and do these things, y'all gonna be burying me. You'll be coming to my funeral. And, you know, that's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? And those were like amazing times. Those were like some of the best times. I do a lot of dope stuff now, like meeting all these legendary people that we talked about. But going back to these times, these were like the best times of my life. where I learned most things. You know, my formative years were where I learned everything. You know, so just to see that and just to hear that, like, yo, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. If you move me from here, put me in a home, I'm gonna die because this is not what I'm used to. If I don't have something to work for and go do, I'm gonna die. And you know, that applies to a lot of the stuff I do today. Like, if I can't live life the way I want to live, like, you know, what's the purpose of being here? You know, and I always have a sense of urgency, and you know, that's basically what she was telling me. You know.
Is Grandma still alive?
Nah, she passed in 2010. Yeah.
From what, if you don't mind me asking?
Just natural causes. Yeah.
Now, did she or your mom ever do music themselves?
No. My mom never did music. My grandmother never did music. But my father's mother, she was a piano teacher. And my father was a singer.
Mm.
Yeah.
In regards to your mom or your grandmother, were they supportive of your music career choice?
At the time I was so young, my grandma she didn't care what I was doing as long as I was going to school. So I was rapping, but she didn't really, you know, like, get this paper off the floor, boy, what are you doing? You know, I was just writing rhymes in the house or whatever. But long as I was going to school and was going to make something of myself, I'm sure she's, like, proud right now, you know, if she's watching me. But as long as I was going to school and just doing the right thing and living right and being honest and living in my truth, she wouldn't care. My mom, you know, she was always supportive of me. Like, I believe you can do anything. You know, that's why she's like my best friend. But it was like people that I was close to, like, man, like, that's not gonna work. You need to go to school. You're very intelligent. Why waste it on rap? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, these are the same people that are now like, yo, let me know when the show comes into town. Give me tickets, you know, same story. It's not, I'm no different. Like I said, I'm not exempt from a lot of the things that are going on, but, you know, I expected this during the process and still chasing what I'm trying to achieve, that I'm going to see a lot of these things, you know, from start to finish.
It's one thing to be, from a parent's point of view, supportive of what their child does.
Right.
It's another for them to actually like what their child's doing. In this particular instance, your music. Does she actually like your music?
Oh, yes. I told you she cried when I played Black Woman. She loves to switch up. I did a song with Watch the Duck that she loves that I actually made for her because she felt like I was cursing too much in my music. You know, when we played with my aunts, I needed something that, you know, when my aunts came over to a house to play and that they can enjoy too without all the curse words because, you know, they're, not to say that they're up in age, but, you know, they don't really listen to hip hop like that. You know, they just love what I'm doing and I'm doing something positive with my life. But my mom, you know, when she hears the record, she knows them. And, you know, I'll be putting on to certain stuff and she catches on like that, like certain records. But it's dope, yeah.